I've got an odd taste. I think I have not like a wildly weird taste in games. I think I've got a peculiar taste in games to most. And it's like, oh, I like this old German weird game that no one's heard of. Yeah, that's going to happen.
Hey Jude, you made a list. Start with the bad ones. The games get better. Remember to let us into your heart. Top 50 of all time. The games get better. Anytime a game is bad, Matthew, don't be sad. Your friend Dave is here to drop his veto. For well, you know it is your list, so Jude insists. Sometimes great games are a little bit older. Na 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 na. Welcome! You have reached Luzapalooza, and today we are looking at a second set of 10 games in Matthew's top 50 games of all times. Matthew, welcome.
Welcome to me as well, Dave, and I appreciate you for having me. And I'm here to talk about the games that I think are the best. We've gone through a list of 10 games which are phenomenal, fantastic, world-changing, and you should go out and buy them right now. Rush to your stores. Don't walk, run to your store right now and buy all the games I mentioned in the last episode. But to find those, you have to go over there and watch that episode. If you haven't watched it yet, what are you doing? But now 10 games, even better. Are they even better?
Wait. You were literally saying in your previous video, don't buy this game. That's literally what you said.
I didn't say don't buy it. I said I love it. Which I'm not the most confident man in the world, and I appreciate that. So I love it, but I appreciate that everyone else might think it's. I've got an odd taste. I think I have not like a wildly weird taste in games. I think I've got a peculiar taste in games to most, and it's like, oh, I like this old German weird game that no one's heard of. Yeah, that's going to happen. Although noticeably, no Reiner Knizia games in that past top 10. No Knizia games.
But you
yet.
started with like at least 3 Knizia games as a what did you call it?
My honourable mentions are all Knizia
honourable
games.
mentions. So you just had to put them in there.
Look, here's the thing. We're going to start off with a Knizia game at number 40. So are you ready to go?
Oh, this is not a good omen. But okay, bring it.
It's not an omen, it's a witch. It's actually a Witchstone. Witchstone by Reiner Knizia. Although, this game is what we like to call, and I don't know this for sure, and I apologise to the good doctor, but this one is one of those games that's by Reiner Knizia. You know what I mean? Designed by Reiner Knizia? Really? Because apparently it was designed by another designer who had this idea for a game and used a crucial Reiner Knizia mechanism from the game Ingenious.
Oh.
And that's kind of how this game came out. It's like a co-design. But yeah, Witchstone is... So what's happening in Witchstone? You've got this like little cauldron, and you've got these double hex tokens. And the double hexes have all got actions on them. You put it down, and you go, cool, I get one action on the witch track over here, and I get one action on this track over here, on the wand track. Brilliant. What a fun little turn. I think you only get about 12 or 13 turns during the whole game. But the next time you place in your cauldron, if you match up symbols to what you've already placed down, you get 2 actions of this, and then 1 action of something else. And then you place another one in your next turn, and now I get 4 of these actions, and 3 of these actions. So you've actually got a little card in the game that tells you this is how many of the actions you've done, because it gets wildly out of hand. It's basically a combo building machine of a game, of a Euro game, of going up tracks, and you're trying to it's like almost a route building mechanism in the middle of stuff. And now I do this, which is going to get me another bonus. So I'm on my 3rd one of these actions. While I'm doing that, I'm now going to get one of these actions. I get one of these. That got me a bonus. So it's it's actually quite a lot to keep up with.
Yeah.
But it's just a great combo
Sounds
building
good.
game. It's a lot.
I
It's just
like
a lot.
Ingenious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the way to describe Witchstone is it just wants you to do. It wants you to get to the fun, and it wants you to do fun things the whole time. And the fun thing is getting to do more all the time. And it's like you place one little domino tile, and now I've got to combat like 13 actions or 14 actions I'm going to get to do because I've comboed up and I've gone up this track and now I've got this bonus and I'll get this.
Yeah.
It's just great fun. It's a really great. There's a few expansions for it which I've not played, but like the Full Moon expansion, I think. But I don't play any game enough really to need expansions, although I own a fair few. All right. It's great.
Sounds good. So, our first mention of the Doctor, but not in full capacity because he did not. I met him last week, by the way. He was at BerlinCon.
Oh, for the spiel?
In full
Kilt.
attire.
Was he in a kilt?
He was
I
in
saw
Scottish
pictures.
Because of Rebirth.
Yeah, which we predicted would win.
We predicted it would win. And,
But I like.
But I was walking the halls and I was like, oh, he just walked past.
You like how I've changed it to we predicted it when it was you.
What did you
said
think?
it. I didn't say. I said I was annoyed because I was like, oh, just another. It's the whole thing. But
Yeah, we should revisit that video because also our prediction for Spiel des Jahres did not come to fruition.
It didn't. And the game, I was just anyway. Let's not get into that. All right, next up is another game, which is another gateway light game. It really is.
That's good.
And it's by Slugfest. It's called Positano. Have you heard of this one? Positano?
Ooh.
So in Positano, it's really similar to Cities, actually, in the sense that it's physical. You're building up these big buildings. So it's physical like Cities. It's even more so. It actually comes in a big box because it's very imposing. And again, you're trying to build up Positano, which is this Italian village. And you want your houses by the waterfront. And there's like a terrace. So there's like 4 different places you can build your town, your city. And your houses. And you want to build up and in front of other players because the only things that are going to score is what's visible. So if you can keep on building in front of other players, they're going to get less points. Essentially, what you're doing on your turn is you're doing a bid, and you've got cards to bid with, but there's lots of things you want to bid on, but you only have one double card to bid on. So this is going to be this. I'm going to make this bid, which is going to mean that I've got a higher number in my bidding for pieces, but a lower number in bidding for plots. So each bid that you make it's got different numbers on the cards. So you're kind of like putting things into priority almost. But essentially you're trying to get resources, just the building pieces. You want to put roofs on to get extra points. You want to get the blueprints so you're building in the right area. But it's very simple, quick, streamlined, fast bidding and building type of game. And if you like Cities, which I love, which we spoke about before, I think you should really look into this game. And it's on Tabletop Arena, but it's really
Tabletop
not the
Arena?
type of Board Game Arena. Sorry,
Board Game Arena. I'm sorry.
Tabletop Simulator. I was thinking of. It's on Board Game Arena.
Yeah.
And but it just doesn't. It's not meant to be played on. It really is quite a physical game. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something about it. It's just so streamlined and. Yeah, the only way I can describe it is a lot of the things that Cities does. It has the same type of feel, whereas that's a drafting game. This is a bidding game, and it works well with 2. And it's mean. It's mean, and you're trying to, but it's quick. Yeah, it's a great family auction building game, and it really is impressive what you're building. They're quite big pieces of plastic pieces that you're building these towers on, and. There's some bonus scorings, like you get extra points at the end of the game if you've built in this column of this shared little Positano village that you're building. But yeah, it's great. And Slugfest games aren't known for making midweight light Euro games at all. They're known for making like Tales of the Red Dragon in. So it was a big departure for them. I don't think it did fantastically, but it's great. It's also not super expensive. It's not like you look at the box and think it looks like a £70 game, but it's not. It's really reasonably priced.
I'm looking at the cover, and I'm not very enthusiastic about it. I don't know.
Well, it's fun. I enjoy it. Okay. I enjoy it quite a lot, actually. Well, I really do enjoy it.
That's worth something.
Thank you. Next is a game by the good doctor himself, Rainer Knizia.
Again?
So this is called Foodie Forest. Foodie Forest used to be called Too Many Cooks, but now it's called Foodie Forest because I think Yedo got hold of it and redid the art and made it all beautiful and forest things. So this is it's described as a trick-taking game, but it's really a trick management, card shedding type of card collecting game. It's so close to being a trick-taking card game that you can say it's a trick, but it's really kind of not. Essentially what's happening is you've got a pot, this cauldron in front of you, this joint stew that you're building together as your forest dwellers. And if the pot goes over 10, whoever took it over 10 wins the pot, or is it gets it to 10 exactly because it can wrap around. Maybe you have to get it to 10 exactly. I think you can get it over. No, you can get it over.
It says here 10 or more. I looked it up real quick. Yeah.
So essentially what you do at the start of the round, you're going to play 5 rounds, and the cool thing is that you have a card which is going to say, okay, I want to collect red. Whatever the suit is, it's like tomatoes or whatever it is. I want to collect red, or I want to collect blue, or I want to collect green, or I want to collect trash. In Too Many Cooks, it's chilies, or I want to collect nothing, essentially. So everyone's going to... You can do it so it's open, but it's much better to do the variant where it's hidden, so no one knows what everyone else is going for. And you're trying to collect the cards that you want, you're trying to ditch the cards that you don't want, and you're trying to... If there's a bunch of cards that someone else wants, you can zero the middle out, and so it starts again. Or you might zero it out so that there's loads of cards that you're collecting. And it's just... it's not a complex or particularly mind-blowing game, but it's just so much fun because you just...
That's good.
Because it you know, a trick-taking card game when you get that opportunity and you go, ha! I'm playing this, and that's bad for you. That's a great feeling in a trick-taking card game. Well, in this, you get to do a lot of that, where it's like, ha! I do this, and the trick doesn't end. And then you go back around and you go, now I'm putting this in there, and that's bad for you as well. And then someone else does something else, and then you go, oh no! Now all the bad things that I did are now bad for me, because this has come back to haunt me very quickly. So it's just that. It's... There's more trick-taking card games coming up. This is just... I don't know what it is about this one that I love so much, but it's just... It's mean, and you're trying to screw everyone else over, and it's just fun because you get a bunch of cards. You can, like, win a bunch of cards, or you can, like, try... Everyone has to try to shoot the moon one round, because you're forced to go for all the scoring differences, or the different options you have to go for one time. And that's a great decision at the start. Yeah, I just love it. It's just Foodie Forest. I love it. It's just a great family weight little card game that, like, if we were to play it, you'd go, yeah, that was great. But I don't know if it would change your life. You know what? I'm not confident on my list, but I love it. And that's what matters. I love it, and that's what matters.
That is what matters.
All right. At 37, Dave, is a game I don't know if you've played, but... Perhaps you have. Comic Hunters. Have you played that one?
Oh, that's the new one. From Brazil.
It was from Brazil originally, and then I think Arcane Wonders finally got hold of it. I think those are the ones that brought it to the fore.
But there was
Hunters.
A kerfuffle with it, right? Was the quality bad?
Yeah, there's a licensing thing because the Comic Hunters, the Brazilian version, I think they did end up getting all the licensing for it because it's real superheroes, and they're real comics in it. Oh. So what happens here is in Comic Hunters, You are trying to collect sets of Spider-Man comics or Black Panther comics or Thor comics. And there's an intrinsic value to which comic hero is going to be worth more points in this game, because I'm trying to get set up at the start.
Yeah.
And over the course of a round, there's going to be, I think it's 3 auctions each round, or 3 drafts essentially each round. One of them's an auction. 3 ways to get cards out of the 4 ways to get cards, and then you're going to go on to the next round, and it's going to be different 3 of the 4. One of the ways to get cards is straight up Coloretto. It's literally the game Coloretto that you play to grab cards. One of them is like a drafting from columns and stuff, and they're all kind of thematic. It's like, this is the columns and rows one that you're doing, and you're shifting cards around. It's going to a convention and you're going up the aisles. I'm going to collect everything from here. The the one that's like Coloretto is that like the eBay one? Oh, it's like, no, that's like going through the racks at a comic book shop, and it's kind of like, so it's quite thematic.
Sure.
And so so you do these different drafts and auctions to grab these comics. And the way that they work are fun, like mini games. It's like little mini games that you're playing to grab the comics. And at the end of a round, you're going to have a bunch of comics. But you have to then pay for the comics that you're actually going to put into your collection with the comics that you have in your hand. So you want to win a lot of comics, regardless, because you want to be able to pay for comics. You can keep a couple from one round to the next. But when I played this the first time, I went in thinking, okay, I'll play a game about superhero comics, something I'm just not interested in at all. And at the end of it, I was like, great, looks like I'm hunting this game down from Brazil, because this was so fun. And I really liked it. And then I was one of those people who, there was a big group that bought it on Facebook, in a Facebook group, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll go in on this and pay a little bit more to share the shipping, and about 10 of us bought it at the same time, and then they got delivered to a guy's house and he shipped them out to everyone. So I paid above market price for my copy, which is also in Portuguese, which is fine. And then because it was never going to get made, it was never going to be released, because the licensing wouldn't have worked, or it was going to be like, there was talk about it being, is it going to be like the Sentinels of the Multiverse, whatever it's called, theme. But anyway, it got made in the end. But it's just great. It's a really great little game of mini games.
Wow. It has a great table presence, because you're actually looking at the covers of all these comics on the cards, right?
Because you want to collect. There's some things that you're going for. It's like having the most first editions, or the most team up versus kind of. So it's really thematic the way that it all works. Yeah. That if you're also into superheroes and comics, will be really satisfying, I think. But even if you're not like me, it's still great. It's still like mechanically a fantastic game. Yeah, it's just really good. I think you'd enjoy playing this one.
Cool.
All right. Number 36 is Lifeboats. Have you played this game?
Oh, boy.
Lifeboats is a game of trying to get some of your people to survive to the end of the game.
Which boat will move? Who will be fed to the sharks?
There's a couple of versions of this game. I think this Lifeboats itself actually just got recently remade. And there's another game which is called Lifeboat or something, which isn't Lifeboat. But regardless.
Okay.
I played this with Phil and Lisa and a few other people, and we had a really good time. It's so unbelievably mean, because you're voting on which boat to move, and then you're voting on who to throw overboard, and there's I'm going to jump to this boat, and I'm going to try to survive to the end. And it's one of those kind of games where you have to work together to make progress. Okay, let's move our boat forward. But at some point, we're going to have to try to kill each other. You know what I mean? I want to be the last alive. And you get points at the end for getting your people to these islands. And the different islands are worth different values, which is fine. and so some votes are more intrinsically more valuable than others.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you vote. It's a voting game and negotiation, and there's a lot of it's a pure cutthroat, mean voting game, and it's so much fun. But it's one of those games where everyone says what they're going to do, Dave,
and then.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that anyone's going to do what they said they were going to do.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah. You look at someone, me and you are looking at each other, we go, cool, yeah, we'll both bid purple, we'll move the purple boat, we've got this. And then both of us bid on something else. And it's like,
That's
what
fun.
did you do? You know,
You said you would do that, yeah.
It's so mean. It's just
I'm
a
not sure if I
wonderful
would
game.
enjoy this. Because
You don't
of
think
the
so?
mean... I don't know.
Well,
It's the negotiation part. I don't mind if you have everyone has a bad card that you can play against someone, but to actively say, okay, I'm going to vote against you, and then try to get the other people to do the same thing.
well,
I don't
you
know.
have to. You can't just say like I do something to upset you at the start of the game. You can't just spend the rest of the game trying to make me lose, because you have to go against the person who's winning. You have to. It's a lot of like taking out the person who's winning all the time. You go like if you go on a vendetta against another player because they screwed you over in a couple of rounds before, it's like you're both going to lose. The other person's going to win. So you can't just be mean because you don't like someone. You have to go against the person who's winning. But yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I understand.
But it's mean. It's slightly longer than I feel like it needs to be, that game, Lifeboats. But I do really enjoy the experience of playing it. But it's just a little bit long. But it's still fantastic. I like it. All right. Moving on to number 35. We have a trick-taking card game called... I wish you'd played more of the games that I'm talking about, Dave, because I feel like there's a lot of these games that you've never played. It's a trick-taking card game called David and Goliath. Have you ever played it?
I've heard of it.
This is a simple trick-taking card game with a fairly simple premise where the cards go from like 1 to 18 or something, and you're going to play a trick of cards out. Say there's 5 of you playing. Everyone plays a card down. And you have to do some following of suits and all that type of stuff. But when the trick resolves, the person who played the lowest card will win singularly the highest card. So I played a 2 out, you played a 17 out. The person who played the lowest card will take the highest card.
Take my 17.
The person who played the highest card takes all the other cards.
Takes the trick.
And takes the trick. And the crux here is if you have 2 cards, I think it's 3 cards of the same suit, then they're worth the value of the cards. So this is an 18 plus a 12 plus a 7. But if you have 4 cards of the same suit, they're all worth 1. So it's all about trying to collect.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about trying.
I probably played that.
It's the same conceit. No, it's not quite the same. Yeah, that's not original. Maybe it is original to that game, but it is in other games as well. So you want 3 cards. I want the 18, the 17, and the 16 are red, and the 17, the 15, the 14 are blue, and so on and so forth. But as soon as someone has like a lot of points, you can force them to win another card, and now they've got 4 points in red, and it's just a. Yeah. That's it. That's the game. It's a trick-taking card game with that, and that's it. That's the whole game. That's it. But it's great.
So this one has the 2 mice on the cover? Does your version?
Yeah, there's a version with mice on the cover, and it's cool because the mouse gets bigger and bigger and bigger in the card. So if you look at if you flick through, it's like a little flip, like a cartoon of the mouse going from David into Goliath. But it's cool because David, it's thematic almost. Like David can snipe like a sniper the biggest card, and he grabs that card, and then Goliath will just smash everyone and take all of the others. So it's vaguely thematic as well. But it's a great little card game, and it's it's one of those games where you go, okay, I'm going to get a bunch of points by doing this, and then you fail in that, and you're like, oh, okay, I have to shoot the moon now and try to win everything. So it kind of like has a back and forth like that.
Yeah,
I like it.
Interesting. This game is from 1997. This is not the first game that you have on your list that is over 20 years old. I just wanted to mention that.
No,
you say cool. You say cool. I'm looking at the art and think, okay, well, the mice on the cover, okay, but
I have the other version with the worse art.
Yeah, I think the backdrop of the BGG page actually has the version of the worst art actually somewhere.
It's like a little man
behind it. Yeah, it's like He-Man who is growing.
Yeah,
it's
great. It does. Yeah, it does look exactly like that. Actually, yeah. I don't think it'll be the last time we see. I'm just gonna have a quick. Yeah, it's not the last time we're gonna see some older games on my list.
You've got an old soul, Matthew. We all know this.
I've got an old soul. All right, number 34 is a game called Red 7.
Oh, wow. I did not think you would. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Red 7.
Red 7.
There we go.
So this is described as having player elimination because you could just play one time for some reason. And then I suppose if you only play one round, then it has player elimination. But it doesn't, in the sense that you're going to play 4 or 5 rounds of this, I feel like. And you're just out for the round, right? So what's happening in this game is you've got a hand of cards. And over the course of the round, you don't draw any new cards. You've just got your hand of cards, and that's your problem to solve, essentially. And you have 3 options. You have 4 options because you can pass and be out. It literally says pass and lose. It's what it's called. So you can either play a card to your tableau, to your painting, if you will. You can play a card to the discard to change the rule, or you can do both. The reason doing both is worse is because you want to keep as many cards in your hand so you've got more options as the round goes on. The trick is you have to be winning the game by the end of your turn. And if you're not winning by the end of the turn, you're out, essentially.
Sure. Yeah.
So the way that works is there's going to be different winning conditions. And each of the colours has a different winning condition. So maybe it's have the highest card. And here the cards are not only 1 to 7, but they're like violet to red. And so there's a double hierarchy. So the yellow 6 is worth more than the green 6, for instance. So you go, so whatever rule is out at the moment, maybe it's have the most even numbers. Maybe it's have the most below 4. Maybe it's have the longest run of cards. All those types of things. It's like, if you can win based on what's out there already, you go, cool, I'm going to play this. I have the most odd cards. That's the rule that's out. I'm winning next person's turn. But if you can't do that, you could maybe just change the rule and then be winning, or you do both. You change a rule and play a card. So it's just about, okay, how am I going to manipulate this hand of cards? You have to be lucky in some parts, but you really have to be smart. You have to go, how can I manipulate these cards so that I can keep on winning? You think, right, I'll play this purple card out, which is going to change the rule, and then I'll save this purple card so that when I play this other card, you know what I mean? So you've really got to think about the cards that you're playing, and it's not just okay, I'm winning, let's move on, because if you play that way, you're not gonna carry on winning.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a great game. All right.
This is an original version was all because it's all based on the game called Red 7 in 1980.
Really?
Yeah, this the version you have is probably from 2014. Mm-hmm. But it's based on maybe Red 7. I'm not sure.
It's just a great little card game which I highly recommend. And it works with 2 players as well.
I really, the reason I say this is because I think it's so interesting that you seem so on top of modern board games with all the knowledge, and then most of your cards are before good printers were born.
Well, yeah, I feel like as far as board game, like I have to really keep on top of what's coming out and what's going on, and I know about this game and this game and this game and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like just because I don't know. There's just I hone in on certain things and like this is a fantastic game, and I try to hunt out those games.
That's good. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the newest game on my whole list will be. I don't know. But so next is an old.
I'm sorry. One more thing about Red 7 that you just said. Where do you think that game is ranked on BGG? I mean, it's a little. This game is broken question in the middle of this recording.
Probably about 900.
Wow, it is.
What is it? What is it?
That's no fun.
What is it?
967. That's no fun. You just memorized the top 1,000 board games.
I just memorized the top 1,000 games, and that was it. So, all right. The next game I want to talk about at my 33 slot is a game that you mentioned. I think it was on your list, Dave. Niet.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
Yes. It is a trick-taking game where the first... So it's a regular trick-taking game where you are actually working together in teams. But before you get to that regular part of trick-taking, you need to figure out a couple of things. First off, you can see your hand of cards, and you see, ooh, I'm really strong in one particular suit. So then we are looking at a little board with all the options. So we have all the suits on the board. We have all the amount of points you could get for a trick is on the board. And when it comes to you, you put one Niet token on that board. And that says, well, I've got loads of green cards. I'm going to put the Niet token on red. So red is not going to be trump. That, of course, doesn't mean that green is going to be trump. But we know red is not going to be trump.
You're voting on who's going to be first player, how many cards to discard, what's trump, what's super trump, and also how much the trick is worth. So how much the trick is worth is huge.
And who you're playing with.
It's the thing is, well, I think the first player gets to choose the team is how it works. So that's what the first player wants.
Of course,
What I think is fascinating about this game, Dave, is that the whole bidding can go so well. I'm first player. I've got a bunch of the trump suit. I've got a bunch of the super trump suit. This is going to go so well, and then it ends up that all these tricks are worth -2. It's so good.
You've got so many things you need to manage before it's going to be awesome. Everyone is working. Well, not against you, but thinking of their own world where they're like, oh yeah.
It's difficult to get everything to go your way, and you've got to do the best you can. And I can see the argument where it would be the same as if you just randomized those things and then played with that rule set. But I don't think it's quite like that. I do enjoy that bidding section. I think that kind of like bidding part of the game. Yeah, and the rest of it's just regular trick taking and those based on those rules, and there's teams and stuff, and you can end up on a team of one, in which case all your points are doubled is something that happens in that. It's it's great, and I like the artwork. All right. 32 is a deck building card game called Trains.
Oh, that was the Dominion Part 2, where everyone's why would you recreate Dominion and make it about trains? Also, you're stealing deck building as a mechanism.
It's all valid points. It really is Dominion style deck building in many, many ways. It's very similar to Dominion in the way it kind of all works. But there's a board as well, which really does add a whole other aspect. So Trains is a deck building card game where you've got a series of cards out that you can purchase to make your deck different and to do more actions, and that's deck building. But you're also trying to do a route building situation on the map. So say you're doing a map, it's Osaka or whatever it is. I think it might be a bigger region than that. And it's like, cool, I'm going to try to lay tracks out to connect these two cities. And I want to get over here. And so you're doing like a classic route building Euro kind of thing as well as. Which is why I just like it more than Dominion. Because I enjoy the board part of this game. Where Dominion, to me, just feels... I like Dominion. It's great. But Dominion feels like I'm just playing cards to play more cards, to get more cards, to buy points, right? Whereas this feels like I'm actually building something as well. I'm making these routes, and there's lots of points to be gained through doing that. Don't get me wrong. It's close to Dominion. But... very close, but the board I think adds a it's like how a lot of other deck builders have added something to deck building to make it more interesting, whereas Dominion didn't, because it invented the deck building, which was very you know what I mean. So like
I remember playing trains. I remember feeling dirty, like I would be playing something that was stolen. It really felt to me like that. It was the first time that I thought, how is this allowed?
Well, do you think that about every other deck Star Realms, which is just Dominion?
Because,
you know?
Well, no, that is not Dominion, because you're buying from a ever-changing board.
I just...
That changed it up for me. But this was the first time I was confronted with it like that, where it's like, are we allowed to do this? Should I have just created a game just like this?
Well, I see what you're saying, but I just think, yes, in a sense that deck building was such a revolutionary mechanism that was invented, and you go, now deck building exists.
Yeah.
And then using it in other games, it does feel like you're putting Dominion into your new game. Yeah, I totally see how it feels like, but
I remember...
I think it's fair. I think it's fair.
The wheel was invented, I was like, this is awesome. And then someone else used the wheel on a bicycle, and it's like, now you're just ripping the guy who invented the wheel off.
Exactly, right? That's such a good way of putting it. But with the trains, I've got like, there's the coastal expansion, there's the Rising Sun expansion. I found this expansion at Dice Tower Con for really cheap. It couldn't get it anywhere. I own everything for trains. It's one of the only games that I own everything for. Like, I own I don't own all the boards, because someone's like, the Essen Spiel board from 2015. No, I don't own that. But I own about 8 boards for the game. It's great. All right, that's trains. If you like, if you want...
I mean, yeah.
It's the most boring name of all games. What were they thinking? I don't understand what they were thinking.
I'm pretty sure there was another version. Wasn't it Planes?
There's planes, there's trains, and there's automobiles, but they are all different games. One's a Mancala game and stuff, and one's a racing game. Yeah,
but it was the same.
And one of the expansions came in like this AEG mixed expansion, where you get an expansion for all 3 games, and everyone was like, "Well, I only want the expansion for trains." But anyway,
yeah.
All right, the final game on my list today, number 31, is Yedo.
Yedo.
Yedo. Yedo. It's a great game.
Yedo.
Yedo. Or Yedo, if you wish.
Yedo, thank you. Yes, that's it. Sabotage rival clans by completing cloak and dagger missions in the city of Yedo. That one?
It's great. So, Yedo is a lot of people say this is Lords of Waterdeep on steroids or something like that kind of game.
Oh, yeah.
It's essentially, it's a worker placement in part, and it's also a big auction at the start as well.
I have played this.
Yeah, you're bidding for the different areas that you want to go to. But you're trying to grab these missions that go from easy to difficult, and the easy mission is be in this area of the board and have this weapon or this thing, and you score some points and get some money and maybe a reward. And then you get the really hard missions are be in this part of the board and this part of the board, have these 3 weapons, have this annex built on your house, have 2 geishas and a blessing token, and then you get to do this elaborate mission. And you're just trying to do... but it's an engine builder as well, because a lot of the stuff you don't lose. So if you do a bunch of like easy missions to start off with, okay, cool, now I've got this weapon, this weapon, this weapon, this annex, and this annex, and you're kind of like getting bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes. I think the way to play it is take one of the hardest missions of all at the start, so you know you've got something to work towards for the rest of the game. But it's just so much fun. You really do feel like, okay, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to get this, I'm going to grab this, and now I'm going to go and get this special, you get some special powers and abilities and stuff, I'm going to build this annex and get this blessing and this geisha. But each of the worker placement spots has multiple things to do in it as well. It's like, okay, I can look through the cards to change this, or I can exchange something with someone else, or I can purchase something here. And all the different areas are something else. There's a whole mechanism in the middle where there's like a guard that's going to be moving to different areas, which I could honestly do without. But everything else is fantastic. But it's a long game. That's the thing with this, is it's long. It's undeniably kind of long, right? Is it... Lord of Waterdeep is not as good in any way, shape or form, but it takes like an hour to play. Is Yedo 3 times better? Because it takes 3 hours to play.
But it takes 3, yeah.
So, but I love it, and there's just something about, because there's a lot of flavor text, and I think it's very beautiful. There's just something about
I remember
getting a mission, going on the mission, collecting all the stuff, and then going out and doing it, and getting a bunch of points. It's great, and money for it. I love it. Yedo is fantastic. But again, I'll be honest, I have not played this in a very, very long time. If I played it again now, would it slip down way farther down the list? Perhaps, but as far as my memory is now, I remember loving this game immensely. So we'll see. I'd like to. That's probably true for a lot of games. It's like,
I can see that.
I haven't played all of these games recently. I played some of them recently. All right, that's the list. Deal with it.
Wow. Yeah. Well. Yedo, really?
Beastie Bar, really?
Oh, definitely. I will defend that game until I die. But
Beastie Bar is fun.
It's interesting, really. How from when did they create Yedo? 14
like
years
Yedo,
ago.
14, I was going to say, is Yedo 2010 would have been my guess, but I guess it was 2012.
2012, yeah. I want my games to
be new,
to be hotter.
I'm looking at what's coming up, and actually, do you know what? Coming up in the next list, a lot of the games are old, but one of the games came out this year. One of the games coming up on my list.
One of the games came out this year. Okay.
Came out this year.
And with this year, you probably mean last year, but I understand.
No. Came out this year.
Ooh.
It kickstarted last year, but it came out this year. So that's. I'm not a gamer for the hotness. I'm just not a hotness kind of. I don't care.
And this is proof, everyone, that you don't need to have played 100 games to create a top 50. You just need to have played 50 games. That is what Matthew is proving here. All the games he ever played made the list.
And numbers, it's chess. There we go. I played it. Checkers. I've played a lot of games, I feel like, but
I am just teasing you, my friend.
I kind of grab onto these quick, light, family weight games that just are fun, and I think you'll see that as we go on. That is what I love the most.
I do understand, and I see. But the hard part is finding those that are really worth it, and then ranking those and comparing those to Nations, the board game, or Yedo. So it's hard to do, but at some point you have to make a decision.
It's hard to do, but I've done it for you, and for you, the people here.
Yeah.
So if you want to see more,
the people.
If you want to see more, there'll be another video coming out soon.
And if you have a chance to really think about it while you're watching this video until the very end, thank you so much, is tell us in the comments what the oldest game is that would be in your top list of games. What is the oldest game? Because I'm curious. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Matthew, for hanging around. And we will be back in a couple of days with the next episode of Matthew's Top 50 Games of All Times. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Jude, you made a list. Start with the bad ones. The games get better. Remember to let us into your heart. Top 50 of all times. The games get better, 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 better. Whoa! Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Na 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 na. Hey Jude. Na 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 na.